Okay, so let us now actually implement the concept of decision making or flow control in Python. So in the earlier theoretical lecture, we have seen theoretical concept of if statement, what is the need of using if statement and everything about it. But like any other concept in Python, we won't actually understand it until we implement it. So what we will do is we are going to solve this simple problem statement, and using that solution we are going to understand our if statement. Okay, so the problem which is given to us is write a Python program to check the largest number among the two numbers. Okay, so using this problem statement we are going to understand our if statement. So let us quickly head back to our IntelliJ IDEA and let us try to solve this simple problem. Okay, so we are in our IntelliJ IDEA and we are about to solve our problem statement. But as you can observe, we had created this single program, single project, okay, long time back when we started to learn IntelliJ IDEA, and all the files were included in this single project itself. Okay, so the name of our project was Hello World. Okay, and all the files we had created under this single project. But now that we are going to see a big concept rather, so what we will do is right now we are going to create another project. Okay, and for this new project, just let us just understand what is the procedure. Again, go inside the file menu, okay, in that new, and click on project. We have already seen this, but let us just revise it again. Okay, so in that again, let us just confirm that we are having our SDK selected. Okay, so the Python is selected. I'll click on next. Okay, and here I am supposed to put the name of our project. Okay, so as we are learning flow control, so I will give the same name to my project, flows control. Okay, I just made a typo there. So flow control, and because it is a project name, there is no need to give any extension as such. Just understand or just observe where or what is the location where it is going to save. Okay, so at this location it is going to save, and as we already seen, you can change that location as well. Okay, so I'll just call it as finish. Okay, so as soon as we finish that, we should the IntelliJ IDEA should start creating that project. It might take some while, okay, before it starts to create it. Okay, so it is asking me whether you want to create your new project in this window itself. That means that it will close this particular project which is going on Hello World, and it will open that new project. So this is what we actually want. That is why I will click on this window. Okay, so it will save the earlier project and it will start opening our new project. Okay, so as you can observe in the project pane, now we have got our flow control project. Okay, and because there are no files inside that, because it is an empty project, there are no files as you can observe over in the window. Okay, so let us just observe here. As I have already told you, there are some background processes that are taking place. So we'll just wait for it to complete. Okay, so I think it is complete now. Okay, so we are ready to go for it. Okay, so what we always do is we will right click over this project. Okay, our flow control project, and as soon as we do that, this window will appear. In that again new, and we want our Python file. Okay, so I will call this as if underscore program. Okay, just don't call it as if, because I will tell you how it will generate error, but timing I'll write it as if underscore program. Don't put any spaces in between. Okay, otherwise it will create error. Okay, I'll press enter. Okay, so we are having our file in front of now in which we are going to solve our problem. Let us just zoom it so that it will be visible. Okay, so our problem statement was we wanted to decide which one or which number is the largest among two numbers. Okay, So for simplicity's sake, what we will do right now is that we will take two variables in which we are going to store our number. Okay, so rather than asking it from the user, we are going to define it in the program itself for the simplicity's sake. So what I will do is I will take one variable named a, okay, and I'm going to assign it a value of 5. Okay, and let us take another variable, okay, and we are going to call it as variable b, and I'm going to assign it value as 9. Okay, this will be a very simple code that will be there. Okay, so again, as I've told you, there should be a space between assignment. Okay, so this will fix that underline error. Okay, so right now what we have done is we have taken two numbers 5 and 9, and I have stored those numbers inside two variables a and b. Okay, so let us now go for our solution for that problem statement. I'll just minimize this project pen so that it will be again visible better. Okay, so what we have done is again we are having two variables and two values. Okay, so we want to decide which one is the largest. Okay, so as you can observe, we can say that b number is obviously large, it is having 9 value, and a is small, but we want our Python to decide that particular thing. Okay, so what can be done? Okay, so that is why we make use of if statement. Okay, so how to use that if statement? We have seen the syntax and all earlier, but let us just use it right now. Okay, so how it is done? So we first write if keyword. Okay, so let us just observe here. I have written if keyword. Okay, and by the way, we have been telling this all along that if is a keyword. Okay, so what is the meaning of keyword? So keyword is nothing but these are some reserved words inside the Python language which are having some special meaning. Okay, so the thing is that cannot use those particular keywords as variable names. Okay, so let us just go into our documentation like we always do, and let us just see what Python has to say about keywords. Okay, so if I just quickly go into our documentation part, if you search in the documentation for the Python language reference, okay, so in that point you will have the understanding, you will have the concept of keywords. Okay, so just make sure that you are in the official site as well as the version that we are looking for. Okay, so the Python language reference, here there is the point of identifiers and keywords. If you just click over that, you will get to this particular page. Okay, identifiers and keywords. Okay, so if you just scroll down a bit, okay, so there is this keyword concept. Okay, and what keyword is? So the documentation says that the following identifier is are used as reserved words, okay, or keywords of the language, and cannot be used as ordinary identifiers. Okay, so identifier here, it means variable, so you cannot use these particular words as variables. This is very important in terms of Python language. Okay, so which are those words that I cannot use for variables? So as you can observe, we were using this if. Okay, so if is one of those keywords. So these are all the keywords that you cannot use as your variable names. Okay, so again, if you just check over this particular keyword list, you will find various keywords that we have already used. Okay, so else is also there, so that we have already used. So likewise, again, true and false are there. So we are again going to see all these terms and how or well these keywords are used all along with the course. Okay, but timing, just remember that if and else are the keywords that are having special meaning, and you should not or you cannot use that as variable name. Okay, so let us just get back to our code again. Okay, so now that we have written our keyword if, we will have to give one space. Okay, so you must be observing that red line over there. So it is expecting the next part after if. And as we have seen in the theoretical lecture, after the if keyword, you must put the condition which you want to check. Okay, so the condition right now in this program is that we are or we want to set up a condition that will check which one is the largest among the two numbers. Okay, so between the variables a and b that we have defined in the program, I want to set up a condition that will check the larger number among the two. Okay, but how to set up the condition and what is the meaning of this condition? Okay, so let us just simply understand what a condition is. Okay, so in the simplest of the terms, a condition is anything that gives me answer in whether it is true or false. Okay, so it is going to get a bit different along the course, but timing, just remember that a condition is nothing but it will give me answer in true or false. Okay, so likewise we are going to set up the condition, and the simplest way to create a condition is by using relational operators in Python. So let us just quickly see what a relational operator is. Okay, so as you can observe in the first column, these are the relational operators that we can use to set up our condition. Okay, so in the first column, as you can observe, one by one, we have written the relational operators. In the second column, I have told what is the meaning of each operator. In the third column, we are going to understand it using a simple example. Okay, so the first relational operator, as you can observe, is greater than sign. Okay, so if you are having the mathematical background, you must be knowing this sign. So this indicates greater than. Okay, so I have taken the same example here. So we had defined our variables a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 9. So in that context, just observe here, if I check the condition, okay, so that example column, it is giving us the condition. Okay, we are setting the condition over there. Okay, so how we have set up the condition? We are checking whether A is greater than B in the first row. Okay, so you must be knowing, or you must have guessed what could be the answer of this condition. And as I've told you, every condition will give you the answer in terms of true or false. Okay, so let us just try to guess what would be the answer for our example. Okay, so we have assumed A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 9. So for first row, where the sign is greater than, so if I use that operator A greater, you are going to pronounce it as A greater than B. If I check that particular condition, this will give me the result as false. Okay, because A is not greater than B. Okay, so again let us just go into second row. Okay, the second row operator, okay, so that is less than operator. So if I check whether A is less than B, so if I check that, our value of A is 5, value of B is 9. So A is less than B. Okay, so that is true. That is why this will return me the output as true. Again, the third operator is greater than or equal to. Okay, so in that case, if I check whether A is greater than or equal to B, so as you can guess, it is not. That is why the answer will come out to be false. Okay, the fourth operator is less than or equal to, whether A is less than or equal to B, so yes, it is less than or equal to B. That is why the answer will come out to be true. Last two are very important, okay, and they are a bit confusing while using them. So only right now only you have to be very clear what they do. So double equal to sign, okay, there is a difference between single equal to and double equal to sign. We have used single equal to, as you can observe here in the example, or where we have made the assignment. Single is equal to, it is used as assignment, whereas the one which is there in front of you, double is equal to sign, it is used to check whether the two values are equal or not. So A is equal to B, it means that it will check whether A is equal to B or not. Okay, so in our example A is not equal to B, that is why this will give me answer as false. Okay, and the last operator, which is exclamatory sign and is equal to, this check whether A is not equal to B. Okay, so it will check whether A is not equal to B, and because A is not equal to B, the answer of this condition will come out to be true. Okay, so these are some of the relational operators that you can make use of while setting up the condition, and this will be very relevant in terms of our program, as you must have guessed, and you should imagine which operator that you can use to set up the condition to get our desired output. Okay. Okay, so we were at this program and we were about to set up our condition. So as we have seen in the earlier conditional operators. We can set our condition right now. Okay, so we want to check whether A is greater than B or not. So likewise, we can set up the condition like A greater than B. Okay, so this could be the condition that we can set. Otherwise, you can always set A less than B or not. Okay, so you can set any condition as long as you know how to proceed ahead. Okay, so I have set up if A is greater than B, and I'll put one space and I'll give one colon. Okay, so don't ever forget that colon. That colon is very important while using if statement. Okay, so one important thing that is going to happen right now is that as soon as I press enter, just observe what happens. Okay, so I have written if, I have put one space, I have written the condition, we have set up the condition to check whether A is greater than B or not, and I have put colon. Okay, so after the colon, as soon as I press enter, just observe that the cursor is not going right below if, it is giving me some space. Okay, and that space, as we have seen in the earlier theoretical lecture, it is called as indentation. Okay, so this is the automatic indentation which is provided when you put a colon. Okay, so the colon indicates that after you press enter, after the colon, you will find that, and just put one backspace. Okay, so after the colon, it will always give you indentation. Okay, so the Python will understand that you are using if statement, and the code that belongs to if statement should be indented. Okay, so that indentation is there. Okay, so now what we are supposed to do is whatever you want to write when that condition is true. So we have set up this condition A is greater than B. If A is greater than B, what should be done, that you have to write after this indentation. Okay, so what I want to do is, if that condition is true, I want to print in double quotes, I will put A is greater than B. Okay, so if this condition is true, then this output will be given onto the screen. Okay, now what if that condition is not true? Okay, so for that we have seen in the earlier theoretical lecture that we make use of else statement, but there is one important thing that you have to be very careful of, that as soon as I press enter, you can observe it is again giving me indentation. Okay, so if you want to write else statement, you will have to cancel this indentation. So what you'll have to do is, when you get this indentation, if you just put a backspace over there, this will remove that indentation and you will go back to the original starting point. Okay, so what I want to right now do is, I want to write my else condition. So else means if that above condition is not true, what is to be done? So again, like in the if case, we had put colon. So here also you are going to put one colon. Okay, so colon, and after that, as soon as I press enter, you should imagine what will be there, or what should be coming in front of you. As soon as I press enter, again I am getting one indentation. Okay, now this indentation will belong to else block. Okay, so now I am going to write what should be done if the condition is not true. So if this condition is not true, means if A is greater than, if A is not greater than B, what should be printed? B is greater. Okay, so as you can observe, we have set up our condition. We are making use of if else statement. Let us just review our code again, and I want you to imagine or guess what would be the answer. Okay, so what we have done in this first two lines, we have set up, or we have assigned, or we have taken two variables A and B. We have taken values as 5 and 9 respectively to A and B. We have set up a condition here to check if A is greater than B. Okay, and if A is greater than B, then this output will be, or this line of code will be executed. And if this condition is not true, or if this condition is false, whatever you have written inside the block of else, this code will be executed. Okay, so depending on the condition that you set here, either this code will be executed or this code will be executed, but at no point both the codes can execute. Okay, so either this code, either this first code, or this second code depending on this condition. If this condition is true, it will execute this line of code. If this condition is false, it will execute this line of code which we have written inside else. And that is the dictionary meaning of else. Else means if it is not true, else what is to be done. So that is why we have written here. The important thing, most important thing, is the indentation part. Okay, so indentation tells the computer that which line of code is coming under if. Okay, so after this colon, it will give you automatic indentation, and whatever you will write after that, it will be considered as a block of code under if, and whatever you will write after this colon, it will be considered as a block of code under this else. Okay, so right now we are going to execute this code, and I want you to guess what will be the answer. Okay, this will be very simple output. Okay, so let us just run our code and let us just observe what output we get. Okay, so as you can observe, the output that is given is b is greater. Okay, the reason is that our value of b is greater. So how the execution was conducted, the controller or the computer came here, it checked whether a is greater than b. So because a is not greater than b, this will not be executed. The computer will execute whatever is written inside this particular else block. Okay, so that is why we have got answer as B. Okay, so now let us just change things a bit. Okay, I'll just minimize this down, and suppose what I do is, suppose if I change value of this to 9, and suppose if I change the value of this second variable b to 5. Now I want you to guess what will be the answer. Okay, a is 9 and now b is 5. Again, if it will check a is greater than b, and if this condition is true, then only this line will be executed. If this condition is false, then whatever is written inside else block is executed. Okay, so let us just run this code and let us just see whether your guess was right. Okay, so now a is greater than b. Okay, so as expected, because now a is greater, that is why this line of code is executed. But the important thing that I have told you, at no point of time both the printfs will be executed. Only one of the line will be executed depending on the condition which we have set. By the way, let us just resolve some minor warnings by Python, as you can observe. Okay, so there is one Pipette guide of Python which tells you how to write the code. Okay, even though it is not generating errors. Okay, but there is a Pythonic way to write the code. So what it is suggesting is that there should not be any space over there, whereas it should be space between the operator. Okay, so that is that one error. Again, the space should be removed over here. Okay, so even though it did not generate any error, so you should be following that Pythonic way of writing the code. Okay, so that we will do. So that again there is this weird error that it is saying that there is this new line error. So these are some of the warnings that you cannot remove. So these are some logical warnings. So we can remove as much as we can. Okay, so we have removed the most of the errors. Okay, now we can even play around a bit with the operators as well. So rather than using a greater than sign, so suppose if I use a less than sign, so what change do I have to make in my code so as to make this valid? So what I'm checking right now is whether or if a is less than b. So if a is less than b, what I should print? I should print that if a is less than b, which one is greater? I should print that b is greater than a. And whereas else part will be, else means if this condition is false. So if a is greater than b, if a is not greater than b, what should be printed? So here I should print a is greater. Okay, so these changes I will have to make. Everything will depend upon how you are going to set up this condition. Okay, so right now if I run this code, let us just run this and see whether we are getting the output. So right now it is saying that a is greater. So same output we are getting. It is just a matter of how you are setting up the condition, and according to the condition you will have to write the parts inside the if as well as the else. Okay, so again one more time I am reminding you, whatever you are writing inside the if block, it will be executed when this condition is true, and whatever is written inside this else block, it will be executed when this condition is false. Okay, and at no point both can execute, only one will execute at a single time. Okay, so let us just quickly summarize what we have seen till now and the syntax of if else. Okay, so as you can observe, this is the syntax that we have used in our code, where if and else are the keywords as we have seen in the documentation, whereas the code which is written inside if, it is code block 1, it will be executed only when the condition is true, whereas the code that is written inside else block, it is execute, which is we are calling it as code block 2, which will be executed only when the if condition is false, and the spaces that we are getting to define the if block or else block, these are called as indentation, and indentation are automatically provided, which we can manually configure as well, but as per the Puppet guide we are providing 4 spaces. Okay, so 4 spaces are there as indentation, and indentation, always remember, they define what is the block for that particular if or that particular else. Okay, and by the way, we have not completed our code as of yet. Okay, we are going to modify it, we are going to make it better, and in that process we are going to understand the real power of Python in terms of flow control. Okay, so I'll see you in that next video.